Welcome back to another episode of Ty as a Mother podcast with Shantae Renee. And today we are still in our series as of Mother's Tea. So I am super excited about our guest on today. We have Miss Shey, one of the best nail technicians in EC. Yes, I am giving you a plug because I definitely want you to tell the people who you are and what you do and things like that. But for now, tell us who you are, how many kids you have,
Mm,
and also one word that describe motherhood for you.
mm. So, my name is Shey Martin. As you know, uh, we have uh, five kids. I have two bonus, and I have three biological. What else you say?
Your kids and describe one thing about motherhood, one word.
Okay, I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. It's challenging.
Challenging. You can say what you were thinking. It's okay.
Do not recommend.
Okay. Yeah. Why not?
It can be hard. It's not built. It's not for the weak.
Yeah,
If
that is
you
true.
cannot really be there and do what you have to do and not always complain and push your kids off of somebody,
Yeah.
it's not for the weak. You really have to be strong and be tough in order to endure it all all that comes with it.
Yeah. Because it does come with a lot. It
It
does. But even though, you say don't recommend. Now I would strongly say this for people, for women. I don't recommend having kids until you're not ready to be selfish no more. Because being a mom, it's no longer about you. So it's not about yourself. You have to make sure that you're ready.
has to be selfless.
You got to be selfless. That's exactly what it is. So
Yes.
if you still just are worrying about just you and you
It's
taking
more than
trips,
just putting clothes on a kid. It's
yes,
way more than them just being cute.
yes, it's more than just a picture on social media. Stuff like that. Like motherhood comes with a lot.
Yeah, it's the
So
behind the scenes than
yes,
what you can see with the eye.
yeah,
And I tell my mama all the time, you made it look easy,
I know.
but
I
you never told me
never.
exactly like
Nope.
nobody gives you a manual on that particular kid you have.
No,
And each kid you have, there's a different manual per
that's
kid.
true.
So it's
That's
like
true.
everything is always different.
Yeah.
Even though it's like you can parent them the same,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot parent them kids the same.
That's true.
Cause you got one kid you can yell at, one you can curse at,
Yeah.
one that be like okay in one ear, not the other.
That's my bunny. Yeah. I get it.
And see, we got two of them
Yeah.
that's like that. So, and you got one that's just like okay, just say what you gotta say so I can go.
Yeah. Just don't care. Well, they care, but they ain't trying to hear you, which make it challenging because you care, you passionate, you love them so much, and then you tell them something, they be like, whatever.
First off, before you start putting stuff off on me,
Okay, sorry.
don't do that. But my our kids know I love them. They know that I have a time limit on it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like a introvert extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it, but I have a time limit.
Yeah.
So it's more so of let's go ahead and get it done so I can have me time.
So let's talk about that balance because that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You got to have your balance. So what your balance look like? Like you say, let's get through this. So do you feel like you checking stuff off the box, or you really there spending that quality time?
I'm there spending that quality
Uh
time.
huh.
But again, is mentally because I have mental challenges,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, due to like again, wasn't mentally prepared to have
That part.
kids.
That part.
And to once you get them, it's like, okay, I have to rethink a lot of things. I have to really think things through, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that my kids are good,
That
make sure
part.
that they have everything that they need. But at the same time, I'm not into not making sure that I need what I need.
Right.
Because if I'm not at my best, how can I be there for them?
Man.
So it's always okay. Okay, they got clothes, they got shoes, they got food, they can do this, they can do that. Okay, now it's my time.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about my time. I ain't interrupt your time. Don't interrupt mine.
I need my time.
And they understand that. My kids, they really, all five of them, they really, even the pets understand when it's time to go to the room or go to that kennel. You better go there because that's exactly what it is. Everybody get it, and I think it's I enjoy being a mother. I do
Mhm.
enjoy being a mother. They all funny. It's always
Yeah.
something going
Yeah.
on, and just to be able to be present,
Yeah.
because that was one of the issues I struggled with, was being present. Because I could always do something. Just like you can read a book, but are you actually reading what it's
Right.
saying?
Are you skimming through it or are you actually enjoying the moment?
Yeah. So still learning.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the good thing that you talk to your kids. You let them know, okay, this is what's up. Because some parents try to hide their stuff. Like some moms they just try to make sure, well, they don't need to see this side of me. They just need to see the perfect side. And I commend you for even just being 100 with your kids because once you 100 with them, that's when they like, okay, mommy need a moment. All right, this her time to herself. And there's no like, they don't feel no type of way. They understand. But you got to have that open line communication. So that is something that definitely will communicate to these moms that's out there. You have to communicate with your kids, no matter how old they are. Like for real, Mari's on the spectrum, right? Mari has autism.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell Mari, yo, I need a moment. Like he could feel it, he could sense it. Like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
go
go
ahead, go
chill
bye
over
bye.
here. But that's because of the fact, like, just because Mari on the spectrum and things like that, like I ain't treat him no different. He could get cussed out just like the rest of the other kids. He gonna fall right on in line with everything else that happens and stuff like that. So you just moms, you just got to be 100 with them. Like no sugarcoating and stuff like that. So
But see, a lot of moms actually don't think their kids. Some moms, I'm not gonna say a lot of them,
mm-hmm.
think that their kids should know about their past or their struggle. It has to be the rainbows and unicorns of everything always
Yeah,
being good. There's no gray area. I
yeah.
don't believe in the gray area because
Mm-hmm.
I always believe there's a black and white. Well, my therapist said there is a gray area. I
Nothing wrong
said
with
I'm
therapy.
about
We love therapy.
I'm about
Therapy
to
is
see that
Jesus.
like it's gonna either gonna, it is or it ain't.
Yeah.
Like just tell me how it is. That's how I think. That's how I better understand. Even when it comes down to the
Mm-hmm.
kids,
Right.
tell me what it is because we regardless of the fact we still got to work through it.
Yeah, we do.
Whether we all make mistakes, but that's another thing. Are our kids allowed to make mistakes? Are
Yeah.
we able
Allowing
compared
them
to
to be a
how
kid.
we grew up?
Mm.
You know, is it okay?
Right.
And that's another thing that I really be talking to Shamika about, and just be like, is it okay to not bring those traumas that we have
To them.
into raising our kids?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to keep letting those same things, I guess, generational curses,
Right. That's what they call them.
yeah,
Yeah.
keep building and building because they gonna
Mm-hmm.
carry that to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we're to that point now where we let our kids speak their mind.
Yeah.
What parent let you speak your mind?
No, we wasn't having that.
You say
No.
you say
You
you
might
think
write a
and feel
letter,
why I
but you
want you to
you ain't
think
gonna
and feel.
verbalize it.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
another thing too. So,
And that's I mean, just like you were saying that generational curses. So I do talk to my kids about past
mm-hmm,
trauma, and the reason being is because I need them to understand. Okay, this is why I parent the way that I parent
mm-hmm,
because I don't want you to go through what I went through, and I'm not knocking my parents because I know they did the best that they could.
right,
But I understand, like, okay, they in a different generation. These kids got cell phones, they got social media. We didn't have all that stuff back then. We knew what it
no,
was to go outside, play, high jump, skip. They don't do much of that. You really got to sign them up for soccer and stuff like
right.
that
You
in order
the
for
fun to
them.
be outside.
Yeah, for them to really enjoy being outside. So, but I told them, I tell them a whole lot. And then one time I was trying to keep it from them.
Mm,
I didn't want them to know stuff that I went through, like with some of my track coaches or stuff like that. Like I was really trying to hide stuff like that from them. But I'm like, no, y'all need to know. Like if somebody touch on you, like that make you feel uncomfortable, let's talk about it because it happened. You know what I mean?
right.
And I don't want them to feel like, well, you know what, I gotta suppress how I feel and stuff like that because I'm scared to talk to my mom. Because that's how our parents pretty much made us feel like you had some fear with bringing certain topics up to them. At least that's how it was in my household.
No,
You
that's
couldn't
how
talk
it
about
was
everything.
with as far as my dad go. It was
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
I
that's how it was
couldn't
with my dad.
mention those things to that,
Yeah.
to that extent. And it was just like, I guess hiding it wasn't
Mhm.
one of those things like that was like the norm. Everybody back then was going
Mhm.
through something similar to that, and nobody
Mhm.
really wanted to talk about it. It wasn't really
Mm-mm.
like it was something out of the ordinary.
Right. Right.
So it was just like, but when it comes down to our kids, I wish somebody would tell my kid, "Oh, don't say that. I'm gonna hurt your mom. Please hurt
Yeah,
me."
I know because if somebody
Yeah,
coming up missing, I promise you, it won't
yeah.
be me and my child. It's
You know
gonna
what I
be that
mean?
one. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Some
Like,
people
no,
don't understand. Yeah,
we ain't playing no games like that. But that's why it's important to talk to them. You gotta
yeah.
let them know,
Talking
like, yo,
is
somebody try to run that same game on me or whatever. I don't want you to fall for that trap. Come talk
right.
to me if somebody do something. So that's parenting is hard. It is, but it's rewarding all at the same
It
time.
is.
So we roll with things like that.
I like the hugs and
I
the kisses, but
know.
my baby girl, our baby girl, she she go in for them hugs, especially if you're on your phone.
Uh huh.
She'll go into and she looking at your phone,
Oh.
try to see what you looking at, and I'm like, that's not what you want. Like, Kel, she was like, no, I'm not, I'm not. Yeah, you
Mm.
is. She just as nosy as she want to be.
We love Cat Bell. No,
I'm
that's my
trying to
girl.
tell you,
Cat Bell's outspoken. And so that's
that's the I don't kill kid.
let her be great though. Let her be great.
Okay, she'll be great on her own.
Okay. So how has motherhood impacted who you are outside of being a mom?
Mm. Can I get a definition of what you're trying to say?
Okay, so for me,
Mm-hmm.
what has I'm gonna ask myself this question. You the first one that actually flipped this on me. So for me, motherhood outside of being a mom, I had to learn. I lost it. I lost myself. I really did. I didn't know who I was outside of being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, no longer know who Shantae was. I didn't know what I didn't like, what I liked. All I knew was about dang on bubble guppies, um, different cartoons, animes, and stuff like that. And I had lost myself. So in that process, that where that depression started coming in. So I started getting different titles outside of being mom or Shantae or whatever. So fighting through that, once you want to get out that hole of feeling that depression and stuff, like you got to find out, okay, who am I? Okay, what do I like? I like seafood. I know going give me some seafood, sitting by the waterfront, taking that time for me is a part of my identity because I
Mm-hmm.
need that moment. Or Shantae is the people I love motivating people. Like this podcast, whatever. Like I had to
Mm-hmm.
realize this is a part of my identity. This is who
Right.
I am. Like this is even though it's tied as a mother and I'm talking about motherhood, but at the same time I'm helping somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I had to date me again.
Mm-hmm.
So once you going on dates, you going through that little phase and stuff like that. You're like, oh, okay, I like this. Oh, okay, I don't too much care for that. Like this rubbed me wrong. Now I see why I feel this way. It might trigger some stuff. So I really had to sit down and relearn who was Shantae because at the end of the day, all I kept saying, I'm just a mom. Like the kids will look good and stuff. They'll be cute, put together and stuff. And then I'm out here looking busted. Like, yo, like that's not part of me and who I am because before I had kids, I knew I loved to dress. I loved to look cute. I always loved to have my
Mm-hmm.
nails done. Shout out to my nail plug right here. Stuff like that. So that's Shantae. Who is Shantae outside? Like I'm that chick. Like I'm that chick that want to get stuff done. I love to have a good time. I like to drink, here and there, whatever gonna make me happy, make me laugh, and stuff like that. But at the same time, I know, I'm I know my limits with stuff or whatever. So if I feel
Okay.
like something about to push me to a point where I feel like that depression about to kick back in, or somebody about to take me out of character, so I feel like I'm about to have to curse somebody out. Okay, Shantae, that's when you gotta start talking to yourself in third person. Okay, Shantae, come on back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You're not that person no more. And plus, you gotta stay out of jail because you got a whole bunch of kids.
But see, I think about that too. So I might be a few days. 'Cause I might. It's like, do I really want to get 3 meals? You know,
Get a little rest.
you know what I mean?
And
I ain't got to eat a mom for a couple of days. I think maybe I could probably do that. Yeah. So talking about identity.
Yeah.
Um, when I guess when I had my first baby,
Mm-hmm.
it was more so of I needed someone to love me.
Wow. That's
I
deep.
was going through, I didn't have my family like there
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through, and we don't look back as I can't wait to be grown. Then you become grown, like damn, I should have been a
She
kid.
stay young.
I should stayed a kid.
Why you gotta
So
rush this?
And that's what it was. It was more so I was ready for someone to love me.
Wow.
And someone can't love you like no other, like your kid.
I know
Like,
it's a different type of love with them.
you know what I mean? And it's
It
that, and
is.
that love that they give you no matter what. But I did not know when they got to that certain stage where it's gonna be,
Mm.
I'm gonna forget about my mama. I'm gonna fall in love with whomever.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
That's true.
mean? And then it's like,
You're
I done
no
went
longer
through
the
this
best
whole
friend.
thing with you. I
Yeah.
done fell in love with you. You fell in love with me. Now you out of love. You done fell in love with somebody else. It's just like, okay. So it was more so, and she's still my road dog. Mimi, she's my road dog. And
Yeah.
she, but we teenage,
Mm-hmm.
young adult
Yeah.
type of stage. And
How old is Mimi for the people?
she's 18.
Mm-hmm.
She just turned 18 in April. So my wife asks me all the time, how do you feel? I'm just like, I guess I'm waiting on the real world,
Wow.
because she's still under my wing. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
more so of, I got kicked out when I was 15,
Wow.
so it was more so, and it was me being grown
Mm-hmm.
and not wanting to listen, want to go past curfew,
Mm.
and I can't, how I blame my mom,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't my mama's fault.
Yeah.
I broke her rules. She
Now
have
that
rules,
accountability is kicking
right.
in. Okay.
So it's like I broke her rule, and I wish I would have never did it.
Oh.
That's how I felt. I wish I would have never, because I had it made where I was at.
Yeah.
So it was want someone to love me. Then when I had her, I had to get on my grind.
Mm.
So I
Or the
grind,
hustle.
grind, grind. Then when I had the other two, I basically had a job for each kid.
Dang.
I worked in the morning, I worked in the afternoon, I was working overnight.
Wow.
And it was, that became my identity. I didn't, I,
Mm.
my identity was a provider, the breadwinner.
Let's see.
And that's where it took me until I met my wife.
Yeah.
I was in that mind frame, not worrying about my health or
Mm-hmm.
anything. It was just straight. I got these three kids.
You
I
got
have
the
to give
hustle.
them what they need, what I didn't have,
Wow.
and that's what it was. And girl, I ain't care about. I walked around in nightgowns, do
I
rags, hat.
know.
I feel comfortable. I
Yeah.
feel like me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting dressed up and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. But as far as, I was like that before I had kids.
Yeah. But that's your identity though.
You know what I
So
mean? So it was
yeah.
like, it became part of me, which it came a part of my kids. Because
Okay.
we didn't have to get dressed.
Yeah.
Mom said, we ain't got to get dressed. We ain't got to get dressed. We ain't got to do nothing to our hair. We ain't got to do nothing to our hair.
Because they ain't gonna do
You know what I mean? And they waited on me to get them right. So it was like, there was one of those big things where it wasn't, we looked like bums, but we wasn't bums.
what?
You know what I mean? We looked like we ain't had nothing, but we had something. So it was like one of the biggest, I guess the critics had judged me on, as far as not
Mm-hmm.
having my kids up to par,
Mm-hmm.
or doing their hair and stuff like that. That really wasn't something I was into,
Right.
even though I could do it,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't mentally or
Mm.
physically there
To do it.
to do it, because I was always on the go. Then I went back to school for my kids.
You're right. Right.
So it was like having them to love me, having to provide for them, and trying to make their life better.
Wow. So how did you deal with the critics? Because you say they will say stuff. So how? Because there's other moms that I'm
I
promising to you,
did
there's other
not
moms out
give
there.
two F's about them. I could kiss it twice for all I care. Because I did not care. Because it's like, if I keep worrying about it, everybody gonna always say, I can be dead and gone. They
Yeah.
still gonna talk about
They
me.
still gonna
Soon as
talk
they
about
think
you.
about me, they're like, yeah, you know how she used to be. Yeah, she sure was, but she gone now. Yeah, I'm like, okay, bury me with my ass up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so everybody can kiss it. That's how I feel. 'Cause I don't have time for the unnecessary. I mean, we can't base how, again, I didn't know that I was gonna have kids with learning disabilities.
Man, that
I
part.
didn't know that.
You don't know it come with that.
I didn't know any of those things.
No.
So to go through all that and then go through my own mental,
You're right.
it's hard. So trying to maintain, if I keep worrying about what everybody else think,
Mm-hmm.
I would be nowhere.
That's good. Well, people, that's what you need to keep in mind. Don't worry about what they got to say because they're gonna talk about you. They
Regardless.
talk about you if you're doing good. They talk about you if you're doing bad. Just do you and be happy doing you.
Right.
That's the part. Being happy. Do you ever deal with any mom guilt?
Mm. Guilt. What is guilt?
You got a lot of questions for me today.
I gotta reassure that I'm
Okay,
on the
so
same
the
page.
guilt comes. The guilt can be feeling not as your happiest with your decision based
I'm
off your
happy with every
kids.
decision I make. He's talking about because they gonna make any decisions. I, okay, so I guess I could probably say guilt when I had to put our daughter on punishment.
Okay, okay.
I feel like, man,
That is a mom guilt
I
though.
tried to put her, I put her out there for 7 days,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, potato festival
Oh
came up,
dang, yeah.
and she
Okay,
couldn't
I
go
can
out
feel
there. It was like, man, let's take her off for the day.
that.
Do I was like no because we do it. That's I seen somebody on Facebook saying that's one thing about our generation. We do not follow through
That's true.
with the punishment,
Cause we
and
do
the
start feeling bad.
kids know it.
They do, and they know how to use it against you.
So, and that's the thing, because she she came back the next day talking about, oh, well, if y'all go today, I can go with y'all today. But she made the executive decision to say, no, I'm not going with y'all today. This is on Saturday, but I can go Sunday. So you don't miss your chance. When you made that decision, that was over. I'm like, mm-mm. So I think that's probably like guilt or my oldest daughter. It's normally be the oldest kids that get you.
They do.
And having to take her phone.
Yeah. I do feel it's a mom guilt, and then they try to use it against you though. Tomorrow I can't use. I don't feel safe at school without my phone. Well, you know what? Use somebody else's phone, some pop off.
Yeah, that's what they got phones there for. Let me tell them, that's why they got the phones. Don't even.
Don't even look
And
for
it was like I think I took it for a couple hours,
Uh-huh.
and I gave it right back to her, and she looked at me. I looked at her. I'm like,
She already knew she got you.
she.
They be knowing.
Mm-mm.
They do. They really do. Well, we'll start wrapping, getting close to our end. So I want to ask you, what moment, or have you had a moment in motherhood that changed you forever? What moment in motherhood that changed you forever?
What moment
Mm-hmm.
when my oldest didn't speak till she was 4.
Mm.
She didn't talk. She didn't show no signs of nothing to talk in. I figured I had to talk for her.
Mm.
So I had to explain to everybody what she was saying, how she was expressing it.
Oh,
That changed. That's when I realized that it wasn't going to be easy.
wow.
So to actually go through and the whole IEPs and the meetings and the therapies and all of that with her, like that's what I when I say do not recommend is if you're not honestly, and I tell anybody, any young girl, if you are honestly not ready to have a kid, because you
Mhm.
have to think about all these things that can unexpectedly happen.
Man.
Like literally,
Yeah.
you have to think like, what if I get a kid that's like this?
Yeah.
Can I
It's a
mentally,
possibility.
especially if you're already emotional woman, young girl,
Yeah.
it's like, can you really deal with? And I'm not gonna say we're stuck with our kids, but that's one thing we do have to also remember that before we became wives,
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends, mothers, we was girls ourselves, young women
Yeah.
ourselves. We forget about those things,
We
and
do.
you have to in the beginning because your kid needs you so much.
Yeah.
So you have to forget about it. Now I didn't have that. I can call somebody, come pick my kid up,
Mm.
and I can feel like you're responsible enough to do what I do with my kid.
Yeah. That part.
So
That's it.
if all of that is going on, if you're not honestly, if you're not ready, the best flex to me is being a virgin.
I know. You know what? People don't talk about that too often, though.
Yeah,
Like seriously, I tell it to my girls all the time. Like, yo, if I could have done it all over again, I see why people say wait to marriage. But no, I wanted to
I
be
would do the
grown at
whole
a young
courtship
age.
and all that over. I would get to
Yeah.
know your family. If I would do that whole courtship over. Like,
I'm
I got to
serious.
be around your family to see is this something.
I
Cause
want to
once
be
you,
around.
if you stuck with that family, it's like
Yeah.
you can't get out of. You
No,
can't
that's
say,
it.
nah, that's not it. Yeah, that's it.
That is
That's
it.
for
That's
you
it.
for the
That's your
rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just
true.
that was challenging, and to keep going for it, and to be, you have to be strong. You have to have your head on right. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
say you're not gonna have those moments where you go in a room, close the door, cry, break
Yes.
some stuff,
Yep.
drink to the bottle is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have
That's
those
true.
days,
That's real.
but you got to be able to, I guess, figure out how you can divide your time amongst however many kids you have,
Yeah.
and then give your time to yourself.
Right.
Because I strongly, before I got married my second time, I gave myself like 2 to 3 hours
Mm.
out the day.
Just for
Because
you.
just for me, that's
Yeah.
as simple as just sitting and just staring out the window. Nothing else. It's just peaceful.
But that's so important, though. You need
I
that
mean,
time
but
just for
some
you.
people make it seem like it's so bad that you
No,
take time off of them. Like I'm
that's
not
not a bad
saying
thing
you
at all.
can't clock out from being a mom, because you really technically you can't.
You can't.
But I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, you can take a long ass break. You can take a break. Hand the baton over real quick and just be like, okay, it's like I need my time.
Yeah, nothing is wrong with that. Like if somebody say that you should take time away from being a mom, they must not be a mom. It's either they not a mom yet, or they not fully invested in their kids. That's my opinion. Because any mom out there who have their kids like day in day out, you know you need a moment from your kids. Like for real. If not, you get to a point. You just like you said, you start breaking stuff. You start like the kids be saying, you start crashing out. Everybody get cussed out in the house. You not a happy mom, so therefore your kids sense and see this stuff. No, take that
I strongly
time.
believe in energy rubbing off. So they feel
Yeah,
that energy,
they
and that
they
energy
do.
can carry so quick. It's
They
like
do.
lightning. It hits everybody. And
Yeah,
then the house is in an uproar.
yeah. So take
So
your
if
long
you're
ass break.
so if you're okay, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids real quick, I'm gonna make sure I'm good. I have to. Because if I'm not, y'all gonna feel my wrath. And I don't
Yeah.
want to
You
put
don't
that
want that on it.
energy
You
off
don't.
on them. I really don't.
Right.
Even though sometimes it happens. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, because
And
you're still human. But you come back. I know. Well, do you come back and talk to them even after it rubs off on them?
I do it in the midst, because you know
Yeah.
how you can feel that guilt, like, dang, I messed up.
That's what they.
I
Yeah,
shouldn't have.
mom. Yeah.
I shouldn't
Damn, I
have
went too
did it.
far.
Yeah.
I went too far this time. All right.
Yeah. It'll be like that.
Yeah. And that's a good thing though, because usually sometimes I'm gonna be honest, my dad was not the type to come back and apologize and stay here. Be like, well, here goes some money, go get your nails done. Here goes some money, go get your hair done. Like he knew how to apologize in his way, and I'm like, yo. And then that was the bad part. See, that's why you gotta talk to your kids, because if not, that was in relationships like that. Instead of somebody saying I apologize for this, I'm like no, they could just push underneath the rug and just buy something. So now I'm just to a point like don't buy me no damn gift. I need to hear the apology.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So is there anything else that you would like to share to the moms that I didn't ask you today?
No, just be you.
That's it.
There's no other person that you can be but you. And
Mm-hmm.
talk to your kids, which is very important, because they want to know. Unlike us, we had to figure things out on our own.
Mm.
And we're not trying to raise our kids how our parents raised us. The generations is different.
It is.
Because you hit somebody right now, they call them CPS.
I know. They really do real quick.
Our son Jaden tried to do that a couple of days ago.
Oh, you see?
He had said something. And I said, you know what? I hope they come get all y'all.
Not
Because I need 45 days. I said, don't just come get one, get all of them. Take them all. I need a break right now. And he looked at me like, I'm like, he's like, okay. I said, go ahead. All right. I was like, cause you think just cause you about 6'4".
Yeah.
It's I guess it's still trying to get used to the new chapter in their lives of the older teens versus the younger preteens.
Yeah. Just the gap, the age gap. And it's a difference in the older ones and the younger ones. It is.
Yeah. Just listen to yourself, and your body will tell you when you need to take a break.
Yeah.
As a mom, and we surpassed that.
We do, because we feel like we got to keep pushing.
Mm.
Like, I'm tired, but yet the kids still need this, and this, and you're dragging, and you can't even give your all because you tired as hell. You tired. So yeah, definitely listen to your body because if not, if you don't sit down, God gonna sit you down.
Every time.
He gonna sit you down. You gonna mess around and be sick or something like that, or feeling underneath the weather where you gonna have to be forced to lay down. And I was like that for a long time, but now I'm like, hey, I left you yesterday. I went home and took a nap.
I'm proud of
I
you.
really did. Went to sleep.
Cause you said that.
I said I was tired. I was real
It was
tired.
that Popeyes. You was already in line about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know it took forever to get that food yesterday. And got in this
But
time I won't have no dipping sauce. Well, what? Why I'm here?
Yeah, I came here for the sauce.
I did.
You
Oh
silly.
man. All right, Shay, tell the people on social media how can they keep up with you. Please speak about your nail business and everything as well.
First off, we not gonna do that
Why not?
because
That's what your nails are awesome.
okay,
Thank
you
you.
can find me on Facebook and Instagram at If Nails Can Talk. You can book on my website
Yes.
and you can book on Facebook and Instagram as well. Just whenever you want to come out, get good vibes or just chill, even have a little therapy session.
Yep.
You're more than welcome to come and just book and just talk.
Love it. Thank you so much.
So thank you for
taking
having
me.
me. You know what's up.
I know. Shay. All right, y'all, that is it on this episode of Ty as a Mother podcast with the series of Mother's Tea. Shay, thank you so much for being transparent, being honest, and being raw with the people about what motherhood looked like for you. And you're doing a phenomenal job. So if nobody ain't tell you today, you're an awesome mom. Keep doing what you're doing. Real talk.
Thank you so much.
Real talk, because I watched your journey. So, y'all, but that is it on today's episode. We look forward to seeing you all next time. All right, bye.